It's time to talk baseball. Can we get Gregg Zaun on my screen? 16-year major leaguer, World Series champion, joins us from Cleveland. How you doing, Zauni?
I'm doing well. Good to talk to you again, bud.
Always nice to see you, my friend. Hey, what takes you to Cleveland, the mistake by the lake?
Oh, I'm moving here in August. Took a couple of jobs. Some real dear friends of mine were kind of needing some help with their respective businesses. And so I've just been down here. I sell infectious disease testing now and as one of my jobs. And then the other one is I'm going to be a money manager. So I've passed my insurance exam, and now I'm studying for the securities part of it and enjoying it. Cleveland's actually, it's been a lovely, lovely town. I've been back and forth between here and Toronto the last couple of months, working, servicing accounts. But, loving it. It's I have a nice network of friends down here and making new friends and trying to move on to the next phase of my life.
Well, good for you. Well, obviously, I know you're one of those guys. You're going to be a success no matter what you do. You're just one of those guys. You saw me talking about earlier the Blue Jays. Are you seeing how much people are losing their minds of late? You've seen the slide that they've been on. I've been preaching patience. Where are you on this young team?
Well, to me, you're going to have these ups and downs. These really, really inconsistent swings. To me, my big thing is that they're just not focused on fundamental play. Vladdy, he's killing the ball, which I'm really, really thrilled to see. Finally, all that pressure that the kid had on him coming up, and a lot of it just over the top. But to see him swing the bat the way he's been swinging the bat is great. I love Bo Bichette. I'm a huge fan. But the way they lose ball games with their inconsistency, whether it be defense, base running, or just an inability to throw the ball over the plate. These are the fundamental things that have to be a focus in the organization from top to bottom. And, you guys were talking about how calm Charlie is. Obviously, that's his style. It would not be my style, I can tell you that, because, I understand that kids are going to make mistakes. But when they make the same mistakes over and over and over again, and there's just such a lack of fundamental play, that would drive me absolutely bonkers as a manager. I think there's a little too much complacency. I think that there's a little too much, we'll get them tomorrow kind of an attitude. No. If you're getting consistently beat by better teams and more talented players, you can understand that. But when you're beating yourself and you're beating yourself in situations where it just takes some fundamental baseball being played, that's unacceptable at the big league level, in my opinion. These are lessons that these kids should have learned in the minors. And you can accept getting beat by better teams and players, but when you beat yourself, that can't happen every night. The way you're seeing the Blue Jays lose ball games.
What are you thinking about George Springer, by the way? Because it seems like every game the announcers are saying he's close, he's close, he's close. You give a guy $150 million, like, what the heck, man? And how much of a difference do you think he'll make when he does show up, if he shows up?
Yeah, he's a serious presence on both sides of the ball, no doubt about it. But a lot of guys, when they get paid, they get complacent. There's really no sense of urgency to get back on the field. It's sad. You see it happen quite a bit. They're like, I got all this money. I need to get myself right. There's just no sense of urgency whatsoever to get back out on the field. And obviously you don't want him to come back too soon and miss all of his, time. But dang, man, at least kind of give us an inclination that you care about being out there. The organization is worried about him being on the field. 150 million is 150 million. He should be out there. You got to get himself ready to play.
Good. So you're with me on that. So here's one. Major League Baseball begins its crackdown against pitchers using sticky substances today. So it's 10 games if you're caught using sticky tack or whatever. So what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
I think it's ridiculous. I've never cared one iota about a pitcher using something to give himself a better grip, because it's just straight up hypocrisy. You look at the rule book and it says no foreign substances, yet they provide a rosin bag. I don't know if you've ever put rosin on your hands, but if you mix it with sunscreen, and what are they going to tell pitchers, that they can't wear sunscreen in the summertime? A little sweat, some sunscreen, and some rosin, and you're talking about super glue. So how hypocritical is it for them to say, oh, we're going to suspend you for 10 games when you're providing sticky substance already? And then on top of that, these kids throw 95 to 100 miles an hour. I don't give a flying hoot whether or not they're using a little something to give them a better grip on these balls that they're rolling out there. I had a dozen baseballs from when I played that were in my closet when I was packing up my house in Oakville, and I compared the ball to the one they're using now. The balls are slick, they are hard, the seams are lower. Of course, they need something to give them a little bit of help with some grip. The balls are ridiculous. That when they said that they kind of unwound them a little bit to make them more legit, I call malarkey on that too. They're still hard as a rock. They're hard to get a hold of. You got guys like Jose Altuve still hitting 370-foot opposite field home runs. You tell me the balls aren't juiced? I don't blame these pitchers for being upset. You know what? And if I'm a hitter, I don't want 95 off my neck. I'd rather you get a little bit better grip, keep that ball down, over the plate. I'll take my chances with that versus, having to wear 95 in the head.
So explain to a hockey football guy like me what was the impetus to do this, because I'm seeing all these no-hitters this year. So I'm thinking they're saying the pitching's too good. We got to do something here. Is that where this has come from after all these years, that you're now going to get a 10-game suspension if you're caught using something?
Oh, it's just society. It's what everybody wants to throw everybody under the bus.
Right.
They've known this has been going on for forever. So, you have the cheating scandal, the sign stealing or whatever with the Astros. I never cared about that either. You get better signs, be a big leaguer. They've known about this forever. These guys have been doing it. They were doing it when I was playing. They've been doing it. It's just part of it. We had pitchers that used to hide pine tar rags in their pitching jackets, and I didn't care. Heck, I helped scuff balls for some of my guys just to help them gain an edge. And now it's like, oh, we got to make sure the game's all cleaned up and fair. There ain't nothing fair about it. There's no such thing as a level playing field in major leagues. You're either bigger, faster, stronger, throw harder, you can spin it better. To me, it's about safety. And they're going to create a very unsafe situation. If they don't change the balls back to where they used to be 10, 15 years ago, there's going to be some guys with some nasty head injuries. And you be honest about the no-hitters. All these no-hitters in the game are a byproduct of the fact that nobody cares about swinging and missing. You have very few outcomes in the game of baseball because there's no onus placed on two-strike hitting. Don't worry about it. Don't cut your swing down. Just try to go deep. It's home run derby. That's why you see all these no-nos in a short amount of time, because the players aren't worried about breaking it up. They don't care. They're not even worried about putting the ball in play with two strikes, which is embarrassing. That's why people are sitting in the stands absolutely bored out of their minds. I went to a ball game in Cleveland the other day. I went to watch the Cleveland Indians play the Orioles, and that's one of the worst teams I've seen in 10 years. They kicked it around all over the place in a game against Cleveland, and it's just an embarrassment. They don't put the ball in play. They can't catch a routine ground ball, throw it across the diamond. The game has degenerated into basically a home run derby when you're a hitter, and how hard can you throw it if you're a pitcher. That's all they care about.
From a viewer, Jeff in Winnipeg says, Zani, how can we not be in awe of Shohei Ohtani, MVP-worthy candidate, hands down? Is it between Ohtani and Vladdy, do you think, for MVP?
As of right now, yeah. I mean, but you got to look at Ohtani, man. That guy, he plays high level baseball on both sides of the ball. Junior's a little bit of a one-dimensional guy for me. He's really a good hitter, and he's showing up this year. But as a defender, I mean, he's not on the field for me in the ninth inning if I got a 1-run lead. I'm pulling him out of the game. So I don't see how if Ohtani continues to do what he's doing, I don't see how you can put those guys in the same breath.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Both exciting. But you're going to take Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
From Ryan in New York. Question for Greg. You just talked about bad fundamentals by the Jays. Do you think it's because of their age, or is it because of the current era, the importance of fundamentals aren't taught?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. The latter, Ryan. It's they're not teaching the fundamentals. They don't take enough time to really allow players to learn from their mistakes. I don't think there's enough quality instructors out there. I mean, you look at the guys that they're hiring in the minor leagues now, guys who never played professionally, some guy that has, like some YouTube channel or whatever on how to hit or field ground balls or whatever. And these are the guys that they're hiring to teach these guys how to play baseball. And honestly, with the fundamentals being kind of like a forgotten thing, you don't see people worried about cutting down their swing and putting balls in play with 2 strikes. You don't see the unbelievably strong-armed outfielders anymore that can throw guys out trying to go first to third. These are just lost arts. It's how far can you hit it and how hard can you throw it. That's all they care about. It's all that's being taught. They talk about launch angle. They're talking about spin rates and all this kind of stuff. I don't care how far you can hit it. If you can't put it in play and make fundamental contact on a regular basis, I don't care how far you can hit it. And if you can't throw it where you want to, who cares how many times it spins between release and catch? I don't care. Even the catching is absolutely atrocious. This one knee sweeping the zone with the glove. You see games ending because the catchers are on their knees with a runner at third base and 2 outs, and they olay a ball and it goes to the backstop and the game ends like that without even trying to get a chest on it. It's they're teaching the game all wrong. It's honestly, you hear the fans talk about it and how boring and ugly the game is. It's not the game I grew up with. I would love to say change is good, but the changes that they've made to the game in the last 5 years, not good, and it's not an entertaining product.
I thought it was just hockey. All right, Zaun, I appreciate the visit. Always good seeing your mug, my friend. Don't be a stranger, and all the best to you, man. Enjoy the ball.
Always here for you. In between selling COVID tests, I'll always be here for you. You let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Zaun. The great Gregg Zaun checking in from Cleveland, Ohio. Again, 16-year major leaguer, Blue Jays alum, and World Series champion.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.